So this building has a fallout shelter underneath it. We're going to try to find an access point to it and see if the ghosts even haunt the fallout shelter of the building.
Sup everybody, this is Scruffy Links and welcome to another episode of Supernatural Skeptics.
With your buddy Dorian.
Yep, and remember when I told you back when we were over at the antique store that we are intending on investing in better equipment to conduct a thorough investigation? Well, today I would like to introduce you to the EMF detector. Now, basically, we already know that ghosts are not made out of electromagnetic radiation. As a matter of fact, they don't exist, at least not yet to us.
Yeah.
So, basically, this is here to detect any electromagnetic radiation or frequencies that may plausibly be the cause of unsettling feelings and any psychological incidents.
Yes, and lots of ghost hunters use this as a tool to detect ghosts. We're not really using this as a tool to detect ghosts. We use the same tools that they're using, but we're using it for scientific purposes.
Yes, because we understand that just like everywhere else in the body, the outer elements can affect our brains.
Yes. And I want to run down my history with this building real quick. So, I used to work in this building. We're obviously in one of the abandoned parts of the building right now, with all these creepy light bulbs hanging from the ceiling. But anyways, I used to work in the frame shop here. There used to be a gallery, a frame shop, and a art studio. And we would frame the students' artwork, and we'd frame artwork for the public. And several of the teachers here, and one of the assistant managers of the gallery, were staunch believers that this place was haunted. In fact, Wendy, the assistant manager of the gallery, refused to close this place down alone at night. She was so freaked out by this place that she refused to be the last one here at night, closing down. Also, this wasn't a paranormal phenomenon, but this just goes to show you how convinced people were that this place is haunted. My coworker in the frame shop did a lot of Facebook stuff for the gallery, and we had a Halloween display and a Windows display. And they took a picture of it and they wanted him to post it on Facebook. Well, he thought as a joke, I'll take a picture of a little Victorian girl in black and white and edit her into the photo. So we printed the photo, it went up on Facebook. 2 hours later, the manager and the assistant manager come around to us and said, "Look, there's a ghost on camera." And they show us the little girl, and my coworker's like, no, I just edited that in to make it creepy. But that just goes to show how convinced these people were that this place is haunted. Now, I haven't had any paranormal experiences here. Definitely the basement, which we're going to try to get into, had a weird, fucking creepy vibe to it for sure. But I did some research on this building. It's hard to find some information on here, but basically, this building was built in 1890, and it used to be the Neps department store. And the bottom level and basement level of the store or the building has always been businesses, and the top levels have always been apartments.
Oh, by the way,
hang on. In the 1950s, an old man died here, and he's rumored to wander the halls of the abandoned areas, the basements, and the office areas. And I think you're going to mention this. There's a fallout shelter underneath this building, which we're also going to try to get into. So, yeah.
Well, actually, I was going to mention that we intend on also doing a bit of our homework and making brief descriptions of the history of the buildings that we intend to investigate in.
Yes.
Yes. Make it a bit more educational.
Yes. So this 50-year-old man is rumored to haunt these halls, these rooms, these doorways. I wonder if he haunts the fallout shelter and snacks on the food down there. Just kidding. Now we'll show you outside the sign that proves that this has a fallout shelter at the bottom of this building. So yeah, like I said, this building's built in 1890. It's definitely an old one. So, and look at these windows. Holy shit, dude, there's a way up there too.
Yeah.
It goes up even further. Is it closed off though? It's closed off though, see? We thought we were on the top level. I'm not climbing that thing. Fuck that. Whoa, dude! Watch out for this. Watch out for that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was just about to walk on top of that. I'm just admiring this creepy window. So anyways, let's go down a level. And pull out your our EMF meter, which is also known as a K2 meter. It can detect electricity, or electro radiation, and just radiation in general. Like they can be used to test on microwaves sometimes too.
And this is another thing that I should point out. These things, a bit finicky.
Yes, if you shake it real fast, it'll glitch.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that basically when it comes to electromagnetic radiation, like it could come from the phone, it could come from, these things are very fragile and faulty. Like this is not even like the most recommended equipment to detect actual electromagnetic frequencies.
Right, and as we get more money on this channel, you can do that by helping us and subscribing to our channel and watching our videos. We will afford better EMF meters in the future and more equipment. Are you detecting anything in here?
Nope.
Okay. What about that apple juice? Is that haunted apple juice?
It's possessed apple juice.
Alright, we're gonna go down a level. And
It wants our magnesium, or it wants us to take its magnesium.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna go down a level and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're down another level, and as you can see, there's taped off sections here of where it's too dangerous to walk onto. Part of urbexing. But this isn't meant to be an urbex video, it's meant to be a Supernatural Skeptics video. So far, nothing paranormal has happened, as expected. Oh, just to give a little rundown, in case you're new to the show, it's where we go to haunted places as skeptics and do investigations as skeptics. And we can debunk anything that we experience, but we're open-minded. If we experience anything that we can't explain, we'll admit we believe in paranormal. Now, see, it's detecting that electricity. Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Does this? Nope. Doesn't turn that on.
I wouldn't suggest turning switches on, especially if the wiring is, a tad bit exposed.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. This building definitely is creepy, though. Still detecting nothing.
Still nothing.
Okay. Oh, here. This is something cool to check out. These little elevators. I love the old tile flooring. You can see rust drip right here from the ceiling.
Oh, look.
But that's an old elevator.
There's the spot.
Yep.
Yep.
It crashed through.
Well,
Yep.
I probably would have, had my nuts landed on the pipe before I fell down to the floor.
Yeah, that's what you call supernatural, what do you call it when you get your nuts removed?
Oh, shit.
A supernatural, what was it called? They moved the genitalia of pedophiles. Did you hear that?
Supernatural circumcision.
Yes, supernatural circumcision, the ghost did it to you.
The ghost neutered me. Oh, shit.
We just heard a noise, but it's probably just the building settling. After all, this is an old building. And some people...
Top that off, this is still an active building. I think that's some residents.
Yeah, there's still residents that live here, and there's still many active businesses downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one quick thing I learned on my own.
I thought I saw like a little bit of a spike.
Okay. Real quick, let me say this. People often misconstrued the settling of old houses or old buildings as taps and creaky noises as ghosts walking around. It's just the building settling. And also, if you hear a rhythmic and it sounds like someone's walking, it could be just a repetitive leak that you're hearing and not actual footsteps. Because sometimes leaks can drain through a pipe that sound kind of like footsteps. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also take this from a guy who lives in a Victorian house.
yes,
Basically, it's not just things like, electromagnetic radiation, neurotoxins such as black mold, and, sudden sounds and infrasound. That's also, could be causing you to believe that your place is haunted, but also pests.
Oh, pests, of course, yeah.
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 Like fucking, field mice and bats and all the feces that they leave behind. And
yeah, and if you breathe that feces over a long period of time with bats, rats, and mice, it can cause auditory and visual hallucinations, which oftentimes visualize and hallucinate ghosts. So,
where do you think bat shit comes from?
yeah.
I'm batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy. Sorry if you hear a clicking noise. That's my lens cap hitting the tripod. I'm gonna try to fix that next time. Now see, this is doorway. Looks like it goes somewhere, but it's shut. Because I tried opening it with my foot. Let me try again. Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Got some dead plants in here.
Some what?
Dead plants.
Dead plants, maybe they're the ones that are haunting this apartment. And it's still known that
are you the spirits that are currently residing in this building?
Nothing. And as you know, the ghost of Kanye West still haunts this building. Oh wait, no shit, he's still alive. But his career is dead. His career haunts this building. Hey,
I heard Betty White is dead now.
Betty, oh yeah, she lives to be a long time.
Yeah.
Long old lady. If she was offered by God to be a ghost, she'd be like, fuck no, I spent enough time on that damn planet. Already head down to the other level? Alright. Down to the other level?
Yep.
Alright, let's go. I want to show that fireplace that's down there too. Okay. We're down to another level. This building is quite tall. It's like 5 or 6 stories. So yeah. There's something cool I wanted to show you over here though. Just to show how old and historic this building is. Of course, the ceiling tiles are falling down. This right here used to be a fireplace. Now obviously it's torn out and it led to the chimney and the chimney's gone. But yeah, isn't that kind of cool? So yeah. See if you can find any files in here. Oh shit, the key's right there. Filing cabinet, baseboard. Okay, maybe we shouldn't touch it. But yeah, I used to work in this building for 6.5 years. And never experienced it. Well, there's one thing that could have been paranormal. Let me tell the story real quick. We, like I said, we're in a frame shop. And we took good care of our black mats for matting and framing. Because the black mats were very rare to come by. We survived off donations. And they're also very easy to scratch or scuffle or buff up or ruin. So we kept our black mats in a very special area where they're safe from harm and we could easily find them. Well, there's one point where my coworker Robert found them by the paper cutter. He's like, hey Doran, why'd you move the black mats over here? We were the only 2 allowed in that room, just to let you know. And I go, I didn't move them there, so we moved them back thinking one of us must have forgot. And then, 2 weeks later, the black mats were back in that same spot. Now, we couldn't figure out who moved them. It had to be one of us, but none of us remember. But at the same time, why would a ghost be interested in our black mats? It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's my only thing here that could be paranormal, which I highly doubt it was. So, I just love these old thick glass tiles. These black glass blocks right here. They're cool.
Mm-hmm. Jog with a jug.
Jog with a jug.
Beware of the establishment.
Well, that's speaking the truth power. Fuck.
Individuals unite.
Yep.
I like these things.
Yep. Is this real glass? No, it's plastic. So my dumbass just recorded this whole entire downstairs without the microphone on. So we're going to redo a little tour of this place. We just searched the whole place. We cannot find an entrance to the fallout shelter, but this was the creepiest place in the whole building, to me at least. over here is where we kept our mannequins. And I was always deeply worried that I would look over and one of the mannequins would turn their head and look at me, but thankfully that never happened. But yeah, this basement's creepy as fuck. It's got a little drop off here.
The sole purpose for this EMF detector
Yes.
is primarily to look for faulty wiring.
Yes. Because that can send off the signal in your brain that feels like you're being watched. And people mistaken that for ghosts. Or literally, it's just electro radiation. And see these little doors right here? They're for where you put coal in to heat the rest of the building. It goes up in a chimney and heats the rest of the building. There's at least 10 or 15 of these things down here in this one room. And here, for our urbexers that watch our urbex part of the channel, here's your little gift in the Supernatural Skeptics video. An abandoned elevator, which is pretty stiff. It doesn't feel like it's going down at all. But yeah, creepy as fuck. And falling apart. So, alright. Well, like I said, oh, be careful, don't drop down there.
Oh, I don't intend to.
So anyways, okay. Let's try and see if we can get electromagnetic radiation from this panel on the abandoned elevator. Whoa, watch out! No, I'm just kidding. Shit. Then there's a spider.
Okay.
Lovely. I hate spiders.
Arachnids. Hey, you know what? They eat up other pests.
They do, for sure. Well, you ready to head upstairs?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go. So here we are, chilling in the same building, the non-abandoned part. This is where the office or the apartments are. But look at that. It's the old Bay City Times building. Let me see if I can zoom in on that.
Apartments and offices.
Apartments and offices. Yep, see the old Bay City Times. This is where they used to make the newspapers for Bay City. But now it's all online, so it's just like an office with 4 people. But you, Scruffy Links, have a theory on ghosts. Do you mind giving a brief summary of that so far?
Okay, well, I previously intended on basically making my very own video giving a more vivid description on my hypothesis of ghosts, specifically residual hauntings. Basically, now I'm going to fuck a little bit up on my wording because I primarily work better with scripts, but...
So that's okay, so do I.
Yeah, so basically, the hypothesis is that we human beings basically just sort of like emit pheromones. We're biological beings that give off a scent, and these scents, these pheromones, possess certain chemicals that also trigger a psychological reaction. So basically, what I'm estimating is that you've noticed when it comes to residual hauntings, every single haunting is either within an exceedingly old or historic location, or a location that have suffered basically a very an emotionally triggering, specifically more tragic and compelling event has happened.
Yep.
So what if we human beings are able to basically give off like some sort of matter which is then embedded onto an object or a place, and then depending on how either the brain is in sync with the person who gave off the chemicals or the pheromones, or depending on how high functioning the prefrontal cortex or the empathy glands are, somebody is capable of basically feeling the exact same emotions that a person from way before may have felt.
And empaths are more triggered by this, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, it's like, one thing that we know, especially with empaths, is that emotions are the most contagious things you can receive. And basically, I'm just estimating, I'm hypothesizing that perhaps basically an object or basically a place, due to how many people have roamed around it and how many things have happened within that area. And you also know about the concept or the topic of liminal spaces. It can seem rather rational that basically each and every one of us has experienced a haunting, but depending on the brain chemistry and depending on how strong the matter or the chemicals are that is embedded within the property or within the item, or perhaps even a person, you sense it lingers.
I can tell you got some influence from the stone tape theory a little bit on that.
Yeah, the stone tape theory.
Yep.
But the thing is that they didn't know what might be the cause of the residual hauntings.
And you think you're starting to figure it out?
I
have a hypothesis.
Yeah, it's a hypothesis. I'm not entirely certain at all.
Yeah.
That is why I intend on not only conducting a hypothesis, but also on collecting samples, collecting data, collecting everything that I need to see if this holds any ground.
What if, and if you think this is a good idea, mention it in the comments, but what if I go and I try to find a haunted item somewhere and buy it, and we run tests on that? What do you think about doing that for our show, Supernatural Skeptics?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I was contemplating on that. You've had a friend who said...
Adriana, she claims one of her dolls is haunted,
Yeah, and I was thinking, okay, so since she claims that her doll is haunted, we're going to see if basically we can disprove that with, of course, continuous recording and making sure that the doll is within a controlled environment.
Yep. And we're getting more and more prepared. He has a professional chemistry set at his place. I'm starting to buy equipment for the show. Like our first piece of equipment is the EMF meter. Which can I see that real quick? As he digs through his pocket forever and ever.
There we go.
Ever. Okay. Let's run a quick little test. This lights up whenever you turn it on, so that's not a phenomenon. Okay. Make one of these decor pieces move, Ghost, if you're really here and you want to prove your existence. Or spike the K2 meter, also known as the EMF meter. Get a back shot so we can see no one's pushing anything. We don't fake ghost events on this show. There's lots of YouTubers that fake the ghost paranormal activity that they have on their show. There's some honest actors out there who really do believe in ghosts, but I'd say about half of the YouTube paranormal shows fake stuff from now and every once in a while, or all the time. You never know. But nothing has moved, so that test failed.
By the way, we should inform the audience that we also intend on doing further supernatural investigations, or basically we intend on doing more supernatural investigations during the nighttime, because I know that
That's supposedly when the ghosts are most active.
Yeah. It's a universal thing. Like, basically everybody believes that the only time the ghosts are the most active or the most potent is during dark hours.
Yeah, and one of the YouTubers that I like as a paranormal YouTuber, even though I don't believe in ghosts, is Omar Gosh. That's his name, Omar, and then you put Gosh, whatever. But he claims that, and this is contrary to what you're saying, he's saying if a place is haunted, it's haunted, no matter what time of day. But most people do believe that ghosts are always active, but they believe something about the night, whether it's the temperature or the lack of light or something about it, they're more active during the night. So
some people, this is just a guess. This is just me throwing another hypothesis out, is that some people may believe that the reason why ghosts are more prominent is not because the ghosts aren't active during the daytime, but because they seem more visible when there are indeed a lack of photons. Like maybe they possess like some sort of bioluminescence or something like that. Like basically, when it comes to daytime hours and when all the fluorescents are on, basically nothing.
There's actually... Oh, sorry, go ahead. Were you done?
Not yet.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
But when everything is dark, when basically, you know, all the photons are just not present, and it almost seems like you're still staring directly into a void that may possess a psychological reaction. Like, you know how some people say, you stare directly into the void, eventually the void will stare right back.
Yeah, and it's easier to see things moving within nothing, like a blank wall in the darkness, because darkness plays tricks on your eyes. But let me state something historical real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so the reason why the whole myth or theory that ghosts are more active during the night actually came from mediums and so-called people that could contact the dead. Basically what it was they wanted to do it in the dark, so they can pull more of their tricks off, like pulling strings to make things move, having someone sneak into the bedroom real quietly to rattle something to make it seem like it's a ghost. They can't do that during the day, because if the lights are on, or it's daytime and, you know, light shining through the window, they can see all the tricks being done. So that's kind of the myth of how, oh well, ghosts only do it in the dark, and that's how the nighttime myth kind of got started.
Yeah, smoke and mirror parlor tricks.
Yes, and I'm part magician, what the fuck. I used to be a magician, street magician, but I used to study stage magic as well. And I should do an episode on this all by itself, but a lot of the things that mediums use, like the chalkboard thing, where they have a chalkboard and there's chalk and it writes a message on it when there was a message on it before, a lot of that stuff is done by pure illusion. You can break it down to a science and how it's done, and it's all just trickery. Magicians don't have special powers. They just know how to deceive people really well, and oftentimes they have good gadgets that help with their deceivery. And a lot of the things that the mediums use, they claim that they can talk to the dead, just use stuff that everyday magicians use that fake having magical powers.
Yep. So in a nutshell, magic is nothing more than an amalgamation of ignorance and astonishment combined with clever trickery.
Yes, and they say the science of today is the magic of tomorrow. It's a quote, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to walk around these halls real quick?
Yeah, but before I do so, I just want to say, imagine if my hypothesis is actually correct.
Okay.
That we are able to basically collect data and samples of chemicals or matter that can actually alter a person's emotions just by being around it. Mm-hmm. Imagine what we can do with that knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
We can make a table that can literally make you happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Antidepressant room.
The antidepressant room.
Depression's cured for 3 weeks. Shit. Well, we're gonna walk around the halls of the unabandoned parts of this area, where the apartments are and some of the offices are. And yeah, let's walk around real quick and see if we can catch anything else.
Yep.
Alright, here's the leading down to the lobby. Old tiles on the ceiling, you gotta love that Victorian architecture. Like I said, this building was built in 1890. I love the old brick work right here. Ghost just turned on the light. No, I'm just kidding, it's a motion sensor.
Mm-hmm.
Right there it is, right there. It was a ghost. I love how they kept some of the raw brick of the building visible here.
Some random sound being heard in the darkness must be a ghost.
Right. Now, I don't know which apartment the old man died in. I couldn't find that information. But we know it's somewhere around here.
So somewhere around this area.
Yeah. Well, somewhere in this building, I mean.
Should I get the meter?
Sure.
Oh,
What?
sudden spike.
Probably something inside of there. Could be just electricity in the air too. Electricity does flow through air quite easily. Microscopic amounts of it.
Well, that's going to be it for this episode of Supernatural Skeptics. We intend to provide more content for you guys. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for watching. And of course, if you'd like to, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment section down below.
Alright, see you guys. Peace out.
Take care. Peace.